What up, Homedawgs? My name is Gokey Gamer, and welcome everybody to week 4 of the NBBL, where this week we're going to be taking on none other than the UmbraGuardian, coach of the Waukegan Wyrdeers. Now, similarly to last week, we're actually sitting at the exact same win-loss ratio, being 1 and 2, and a very close differential, us being at -3 and Umbra being at -4. On top of that, not only is Umbra the one that introduced me to this league, but he also introduced it to me after our SDA matchup, which I managed to beat him in. So I know for a fact he's going to be not only looking for a win to help his differential, but also looking for revenge from our last batch. This battle is going to be an extremely crucial and important one, as not only does this involve our win-loss ratio and our differential, but this also involves me defending my win and Umbra getting revenge on me. Once again, this video will have the similar editing styles as the previous weeks, and I've decided that for the rest of this league, I will be sticking with this editing style. I've really enjoyed experimenting with how I want to make these Draft League videos, and I think this provides a very unique aspect to Draft League, and I'm very excited to see what else I can do with it. I think they make me stand out, and they're also a crap ton of fun to edit. So I hope you all enjoy these videos as much as I enjoy making them, and with all that being said, let's get into the team breakdown. Now, Umbra actually made some team transactions right before this week, and his new team consists of Gouging Fire, Sneasler, Hisuian Zoroark, Garganacl, Thundurus-Therian, Zarude, Hisuian Samurott, an AVALUGG that can tear into an Ice, Ghost, or Fairy type, a Galarian Articuno that can tear into a Flying, Fairy, or Ground type, and finally a Dachshund that can tear into a Fairy, Steel, and Poison type. Overall, this team has some extremely scary setup threats, especially on the physical side with Gouging Fire, Sneasler, and Garganacl. Hisuian Zoroark and Thundurus-Therian can also prove to be really hard-hitting special attacks that will be extremely difficult to take down. Hisuian Zoroark and Thundurus-Therian can also prove to be really hard-hitting special attackers that'll be extremely difficult to take down. In terms of what I think my opponent is going to bring, I think Umbra is going to bring Dragon Dance Gouging Fire, a Body Press plus Recover set with a Garganacl, Nasty Plot Thundurus, Calm Mind Terra, Ground Galarian Articuno, Hisuian Zoroark, and an Unburdened Swords Dance Sneasler to finish things off. I could also see Choice Scarf Samurott and a defensive AVALUGG making an appearance as well. Now, with all that being said, I think there's several Pokemon on our team that can take advantage of my opponent's weaknesses. So without any further ado, let's go into the team I'm bringing and why I'm bringing it. So once again, the first Pokemon in my most likely lead is going to be none other than Volga the Terra Ghost Colossal. Her item this week is the Leftovers. She's rocking the max HP and defense, which works extremely well combined with her Flame Body ability, and her moveset is none other than Power Gem, Spikes, Stealth Rock, and Curse. This is meant to be a hazard stacker and a very easy Sneasler switch in. Power Gem is there to stop Gouging Fire and Thundurus-Therian from getting too greedy, and Curse is there as some fun tech to get Pokemon severely chipped or to even be a self-sack to stop potential setup sweepers from getting the upper hand in terms of momentum. Now, the only case where Volga isn't the lead is if Hisuian Samurott shows up, as if my opponent does lead Samurott, then they essentially get a free turn. That's why my other possible lead is none other than Purple Rain the Alomomola. Also max HP and defense, this big fish is holding the Rocky Helmet to chip down and wall every physical sweeper that isn't Zarude, with Regenerator as always, and the moves Scald, Flip Turn, Wish, and Alluring Voice. Her nature is actually the relaxed nature and 0 IVs in speed, so that I can guarantee be the slowest Pokemon for flip turn pivoting, while also still being faster than Garganacl and AVALUGG, which I can easily go for Scald Burns against. Alluring Voice is a failsafe for if Pokemon like Gouging Fire or Sneasler attempt to set up in my face, as Alluring Voice has a 100% chance to confuse a target if they have a stat raise during that same turn, and it can also provide some fun tech in case Zarude wants to switch in. Now granted, Garganacl could run the Purifying Salt ability, which would prevent it from getting burned, and Gouging Fire can't be burned, but the threat of a 30% chance to burn is just absolutely phenomenal versus the rest of my opponent's team. Next up is the other main chipper of the team, as well as my near-perfect Garganacl switch-in, Prince the Pheasantipity. Another Rocky Helmet user, this set is also max HP and defense with a Toxic Chain ability, and the moves Alluring Voice, Acid Spray, Roost, and Toxic. Alluring Voice is there for the same reason as Purple Rain, Acid Spray and Toxic are there to help weaken Pokemon down, especially Garganacl, and Roost is there for passive recovery. Toxic is extremely spammable versus my opponent, and the only immunities are Sneasler and Dachshund after it Terras, and combined with Acid Spray, I can easily get intel as to what ability Garganacl is running, and be able to more efficiently 1v1 it. The only way this set fails versus Garganacl is if it's holding the clear amulet with the ability Purifying Salt, but then that gives us extremely useful intel as to what my opponent's set is, which could prove to be immensely valuable to us moving forward. Prince's natural special defense also helps it wall the special attackers on my opponent's team as well if need be. Speaking of having a special defensive wall, let's talk about my main special defensive wall for this matchup, Kramaraja the Terrapagos. This set is relatively simple, max HP and special defense holding the heavy duty boots for possible hazards, and the moves Terra Starstorm, Rapid Spin, Toxic, and Dark Pulse. Not much needs to be said about this set. Terra Starstorm is a button clicker, especially if Hisuian Zoroark doesn't come. Rapid Spin is there just in case Ceaseless Edge Samurott makes an appearance. Dark Pulse is there specifically for Hisuian Zoroark and Garganacl if I really need it, and Toxic is there for a neutral play in case a set of sweeper starts getting ideas. And that's pretty much it for Kramaraja. Next up is the bulky win-con of this team, Sheldon the Hisuian Goodra. This beefy snail is holding the Chople Berry to guarantee live any fighting type attack heading his way, which combined with Shell Armor to block any crit. He's also got max HP and special attack, and his moveset is Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon, Shelter, and Body Press. Another very simple set, this is meant to click buttons and claim lives while also being able to tank hits at the same time. Hopefully Sheldon will be able to prove just how insanely broken this Pokemon can be. And last up but most certainly not least is our hyper-offensive sweeper of the match, Night Terror the Darkrai. Night Terror is holding the Choice Scarf to guarantee be the fastest thing on the field unless a Bird and Sneasler makes an appearance, or if Gouging Fire gets to +2. He has also max special attack and has enough speed investment to outspeed Scarfed Sneasler, and has the moves Dark Pulse, Focus Blast, Ice Beam, and Psychic. Especially once everything is chipped down, Night Terror can just easily be a switch in and claim lives with Stab Dark Pulse, especially once the threat of a Bird and Sneasler is gone. Hopefully Night Terror can live up to his name and redeem himself after I needlessly sacked him last week. And that's it for the team! Overall, I'm extremely excited to see how well this squad does, as I think I've got an excellent plan to counter whatever Umbra wants to throw at me, and allow either Sheldon or Night Terror to sweep the rest of the team. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and whop to the battle. Okay, so a quick note before starting this battle. During our game, there was an urgent matter that Umbra had to go take care of, so his partner ended up having to step in the middle of the battle to finish the game. Thankfully, everything was alright and he was able to come back, but by the time he actually did get back, we had already finished the battle. After discussing what to do, we decided, you know what, let's just redo the battle from scratch. That way we would both have as equal of a chance as we could make it. There were still some advantages that I definitely had, such as knowing a lot more of what Umbra sets were, and the fact that we would be using different leads. But after offering to share my sets with Umbra, he was just like, nah, let's just go for it, so that's what we did. We decided to do a best 2 out of 3, and the game you're about to see is the final game that we did, and the game that she was going to be counting in the standings. I'm very glad that we were able to redo this battle, and now, let's go ahead and whop to it. Whop! Whop! And we're back! So the team that Umbra brought ended up being the worst possible brings for me to deal with, as you can see by my first reaction to them in the first game. Okay, so we do see Samurott, we see Gouging Fire, Hisuian Zoroark, Articuno, AVALUGG, and Therian. This is like the worst team for us currently. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. In the first game, I led Alumamola as Umbra led Thundurus-Therian, the worst possible lead for me, which was one out of 2 reasons why I wanted to change my lead this time. So as a result, this time I led Colossal as my opponent leads Hisuian Samurott. Another really bad lead for me. Of course, now you lead Hisuian Samurott. Why not? You know what? That's totally fair, actually. To avoid tanking a quad-effective Water-type move, I decide to immediately Terrastalize into a Ghost-type and go for Stealth Rocks, as Samurott goes for a knockoff, knocking off my leftovers and getting the unfortunate 30% chance of Flame Body, which triggers a burn, severely weakening Samurott, which is extremely good for us. Okay, at least we get the burn though. I will take that. I will take the burn. Setting up Stealth Rocks was the other reason I wanted to lead Colossal. During our first game, I realized how valuable hazards were, and several of his Pokemon are actually weak to hazards, and most of his Pokemon aren't holding the heavy duty boots. So weakening things down with rocks, as well as a layer of spikes he set up during the next turn, is extremely crucial for this game. During the same turn I set up spikes, Samurott goes for Ceaseless Edge to set up his own layer of spikes, and ends up doing a bunch more damage than I expected, so I opt to switch out and go into my Dark Resistance, Prince of Pheasantipity, who takes minimal damage as Samurott goes for another Ceaseless Edge and gets chipped by both the Rocky Helmet and the Burn. After this, Samurott ends up going for a Flip Turn, which does even more chip as he switches into Galarian Articuno, and I go for a neutral Roost. Now I happen to know that Galarian Articuno is a Terra Ground type and is a Calm Mind sweeper, but this is actually one of the most ideal Pokemon to have it switch in against, as not only does it take damage from Stealth Rocks, but I'm able to safely fire off a Toxic and put the Scary Bird on a timer as it goes for Calm Mind. Then, hoping that Articuno goes for a Calm Mind again, I go for Alluring Voice to confuse it. And thankfully, my plan works. One of the biggest threats against my team is currently Toxic and Confused, putting me in an extremely advantageous position. The next turn, Articuno actually goes for a Shadow Ball, most likely predicting a switch. So as a result, I'm actually able to survive and fire off an Acid Spray. Which ends up triggering Articuno's competitive and immensely boosting its special attack. Whoops, my bad. I could have roosted that damage off. Oh shoot, I forgot about competitive. Oh no. I mean, regardless, you die to poison next turn unless you heal, so I'm just gonna roost up myself. As a result, Articuno snaps out of confusion and fires off an extremely powerful Terra Blast, which finishes off Prince. But, thanks to the Toxic Chip, Articuno ends up falling as well, which is a trade I will gladly take. I decide that my best switch-in is none other than Komaruja the Terrapagos, so that way I can safely fire off a Rapid Spin to get rid of the spikes on my side of the field, and Umbra sends in Gouging Fire, which I know is a Dragon Dance and Morning Sun set, making this mon extremely threatening. I fire off a Rapid Spin as my opponent goes for a Dragon Dance. Oh boy, here we go! Unfortunately, even if this is a fully offensive set, Terrapagos can't two-shot a full HP Gouging Fire, so I opt to go for a Toxic as the big brute heals itself with Morning Sun. Let's see, hello, I'm sorry. Alright, and we missed the Toxic, so that's fair. Okay. And I managed to miss. Gosh dang it, Komaruja, now is not the time to throw! I stay in to fire off another Toxic as Gouging Fire goes for another Dragon Dance. This time, we do manage to land and put them on a timer as well, while remaining at full HP. After doing some calculations and thinking, I decide that my best move is to stack off Volga to give Purple Rain a safe switch-in to help stall out Gouging Fire without taking too much damage. While the Curse strat unfortunately didn't make an appearance here, it did help me out a lot during the first game, and in this game, Volga actually put in a lot of work getting the hazards up as well. Volga's sack gives me a safe switch into Purple Rain the Alomomola, who easily tanks a +2 Dragon Claw from a Gouging Fire, triggering her held Rocky Helmet and safely fires off a Wish. The next turn I go for a Scald for maximum damage as Gouging Fire goes for an EQ to avoid tanking Rocky Helmet chip. Alomomola's HP gets healed even more and Gouging Fire goes into the red from the Toxic chip. And then the next turn, I do a bit of a dumb play. I mean, that's fine, I can just flip turn. I didn't think about this, but Gouging Fire ends up going for a Morning Sun, meaning that the HP recovery allows him to live a bit longer as I flip turn out into Komaruja. Never mind, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Then again, we already kinda knew that. I am an idiot. Actually, wait, no. Night Terror can just come in. No, don't throw. This thing's at +2. Don't throw, buddy. Do not throw, this thing is at +2. Thankfully, this misplay didn't come back to harm me too badly, as all I need to do now is double back into Purple Rain, who tanks another Dragon Claw, chipping down Gouging Fire for more than enough damage to die to the Toxic Chip, leaving Umbra's team severely weakened, but we're not done yet. Umbra then surprisingly sends in... AVALUGG? Huh. That's odd. Oh my gosh, you went for Hyper Beam! Full Buster, that's... AVALUGG. Interesting. Okay. Probably going to try to go for an Iron Defense sweep. Alright, I'm just going to flip turn regardless. Hyper Beam? What? What? Oh my god, that's so nutty. Wait, what? That is amazing. Excuse me. That is hysterical. That is so funny. Oh my god. Wait, hold on. I think if I Rapid Spin into Terra Starstorm, I think I KO. That's so funny. Wait, no, this is Zoroark. Oh, wait, this is Zoroark. Hold on. Wait, this is Zoroark. Unfortunately, Purple Rain does go down here, but this attack does give me crucial intel. Thankfully, I do realize what this Pokemon actually is, and I correctly go for a Dark Pulse, which gets rid of the surprise Hisuian Zoroark. And now, it's just a big Thunder Genie, a severely weakened Samurai Otter, and an icy coffee table left. Mad respect. Mad respect. Mad respect on that Zoroark, dude. Oh my god, I love that. Yes! Yes! That's so good. Oh my god, I love that. That's so funny. After this, Umbra ends up sending in Samurott to hopefully deal a lot of damage with a Sacred Sword, but combined with Terra Shell and the burn halving Samurott's attack, it barely does anything as Komaruja just simply goes for a Rapid Spin to raise my speed for the incoming Thundurus-Therian, yet another massive threat against my team. As it turns out, Thundurus-Therian still actually outspeeds me and attempts to land a terrifying Focus Blast, but our turtle ends up dodging the attack and we fire off a Terra Starstorm, which is revealed to be an easy KO on the next turn. Although, unfortunately, we do take a lot of damage from a second Focus Blast that does manage to land. And last up on Umbra's team is none other than AVALUGG, which means we pretty much have this in the bag. Unsure of what Terra type this guy could be, I decide to risk the Terra Ghost and fire off a Terra Starstorm, which is unfortunately unable to fully pick off AVALUGG, and after managing to pick up 4 whole KOs versus Umbra, Terrapagos finally goes down to a body press. However, after doing some calcs, I switched to Sheldon the Hisuian Gudra, who's able to easily finish things off with a flash cannon. I had one in Night Terror to finish off AVALUGG, but if it was a Terra Fairy, then Dark Pulse was a roll to KO, whereas if it was Terra Ghost, Sheldon still KO'd with a Flash Cannon, meaning there was no reason to not click Flash Cannon to finish things off and win us the battle with a 2-0 victory. Alright, I'll let Darkrai come in here and pick up the kill that he deserves from the last game. I mean, wait, actually, could you be... Oh, wait, no, we figured this out already. You're this. Yeah, so Darkrai, let me make sure you KO. Yes, you definitely do. Wait, if you're Terra Fairy, actually. If you're Terra Fairy in Terra... It's just 21%. You know what? I'm going to make sure that I pick up the KO on this, because regardless, this should pick up the KO even if you're Terra Ghost. Yes, Flash Cannon picks up the KO even if you're Terra Ghost. So, Flash Cannon. Bada bing, bada boom. Beauty. Alright. Well, I won the best of 3. Dang, that's nutty, dude. That is nutty. I did feel really bad for Night Terror, as not only was Night Terror the reason we won our first game, but he had actually managed to pick up 3 KOs thanks to him being scarfed. So once again, Darkrai's kills were robbed from him. Oof. And that's our battle versus Umbra done. For those wondering, this was our second game, and our first game resulted in me winning a 3-0 victory. So, I won the best 2 out of 3. Overall, while this was far from my cleanest game, I did have an advantage going into this fight, which I have no doubt contributed to this victory. Granted, I know that Umbra knew at least a couple of my sets as well, but I definitely had more knowledge of his sets. Oh, man, the sets were crazy, dude. Mad respects on the things. Not having spent on Lug really sucks. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, for sure, man. That sucks. I was worried about that. That was the main reason why I wanted... Yeah, that definitely sucks with the no spin on AVALUGG, having the wrong AVALUGG set. I feel so bad. I feel so bad, but, GG's once again to Umbra. I do mad respect. But yeah, so we're gonna use the official stats for this one. This will be the official stats. I have my freaking stream layout, hold on. Yeah, GG's once again to Umbra. I would do a final game, but I got stuff that I need to get done, so unfortunately I can't do that, but yeah, that was a very fun game. I'm very glad that the sets popped off at least, and I'm sorry again about the misgen with AVALUGG. It happens, it's happened to me, it's happened to other people that I've battled, you know, it's just one of those things where it happens, and I hate that that's kind of what it came down to, because with this one, I definitely put myself in a better position because I knew the sets, but he also knew some of my sets too. Not all of my sets were told, obviously, and like he wasn't there for all of them, but, you know, I definitely had the advantage going into this, even with the disadvantaged lead. So it is what it is, but there's not much I can really do about that. Overall, a very fun game. This will be the results that are documented. It'll be from this game. We both decided on that. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm robbing Darkrai again of all of his KOs. But it's fine. It's fine. But, yeah, GG's again to my opponent, Umbra. I'm glad everything worked out. I'm glad everything's okay. And, yeah. That'll do it. Regardless, what matters most is that everything ended up being okay on Umbra's end, which I'm super grateful for. Massive shoutouts to Umbra for being so chill about the whole situation, and it was an honor to battle him once again. Thank y'all so much for watching. If y'all enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe so that you don't miss a single battle from us. Next week, we've got a really spicy team, so you definitely don't want to miss it. Be sure to check out Umbra down in the description below, and with all that being said, I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace out, mates!